Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Brooke's breakup sacrifice pushes Ridge to give Taylor pity marriage. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers reveal that there could be a reason why Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, is pushing for a friendship with Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, again. B&B is trying to repair their damaged bond and get Brooke back to a good place with Taylor, but there may be more going on here. Brooke noticed something was off with Taylor before Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., even picked up on it. Since Taylor is supposed to be soaking up family time and enjoying herself, Brooke doesn't understand why Taylor seems so glum. In other words, Brooke is more in tune with Taylor's emotions than Ridge is at the moment. We're seeing Brooke's intuition kick in when it comes to Taylor, so B&B may be gearing up for a big twist. Many viewers are expecting another round of the Brooke, Taylor, and Ridge love triangle, but there could be a curveball. What if Brooke eventually bows out for Taylor's sake once the truth comes to light? Brooke may get updates on Taylor's heart failure diagnosis and the news that Taylor is rapidly heading toward her expiration date. Taylor doesn't know exactly how much time she has left, but she clearly doesn't think she has all that long. It's possible Ridge will dump Brooke and try to make Taylor happy in her final months with a reunion. However, based on how Brooke's acting in the storyline so far, we could be building to her sacrifice instead. It might be Brooke who breaks things off with Ridge and pushes him in terminally ill Taylor's direction. Brooke might insist there'll be time for another bridge chapter later and argue this is Ridge's chance to help Taylor pass away content. In other words, Brooke might sacrifice her own romantic bliss for Taylor's happiness and urge Ridge to give his ex one final gift. Brooke might push Ridge toward the altar with Taylor and basically contend that she deserves a pity marriage. Ridge and Brooke still haven't tied the knot again, so Brooke may ultimately think he needs to exchange vows with Taylor next. It's a sacrifice that Brooke could regret if Taylor gets a soap miracle and survives this illness storyline. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Taylor and Brooke's latest friendship attempt will get complicated, so we'll offer more predictions on Ridge's future. In the swirling world of Los Angeles high society, where fashion, power, and love often collide, the latest chapter in the saga of Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester takes a dramatic and emotional turn. For years, Brooke and Ridge have been at the center of a tumultuous love triangle involving Ridge's former flame, Taylor Hayes. The rivalry between Brooke and Taylor has spanned decades, with Ridge constantly being pulled between the two strong-willed women. But this time, things are different. Brooke Logan has always fought fiercely for Ridge's love, but now, in a shocking twist, she's preparing to make the ultimate sacrifice, the one thing she's never been willing to do before. She's going to let Ridge go, but not for the reasons anyone might expect. Brooke isn't stepping aside because she believes Ridge doesn't love her. On the contrary, she knows he does. However, the recent events surrounding Taylor, her heartbreak, and her sense of rejection have softened Brooke's heart toward her longtime rival. In a moment of selflessness, Brooke starts to see Taylor in a new light, not as a competitor for Ridge's affection, but as a woman who has suffered deeply. Taylor has watched from the sidelines as Ridge and Brooke's roller coaster relationship has often stolen the spotlight. After all these years, Brooke realizes that Taylor has never fully healed from the emotional scars of losing Ridge time and time again. And now, in a rare act of compassion, Brooke is willing to push Ridge toward Taylor, believing that it might be the only way for all of them to find peace. It all begins when Brooke overhears a conversation between Ridge and Taylor. Taylor, vulnerable and broken, confesses that she feels like she's always going to be the other woman, forever waiting for Ridge to choose her, but never being the one he truly commits to. Ridge, torn as ever, tries to reassure her, but his words ring hollow. He loves both women, but his bond with Brooke has always been too strong to ignore. Brooke, standing just outside the room, is overcome with emotion as she hears Taylor pour her heart out. For the first time, she sees beyond their rivalry and recognizes the depth of Taylor's pain. Brooke begins to question if her own happiness with Ridge has come at too high a cost, not just to Taylor, but to their entire family. The fractures between the Forrester and Logan clans, the years of back-and-forth drama, all of it has taken a toll on everyone they love. Later that night, Brooke sits alone in her living room, sipping a glass of wine as she reflects on the past. She remembers the many times she and Ridge have found their way back to each other, but also the many times they've hurt the people around them in the process. Ridge's children, especially Steffi and Thomas, have long resented Brooke's place in their father's life, always seeing her as the woman who took him away from Taylor, their mother. The next day, Brooke makes a decision that will shock Ridge to his core. She calls him over to her house and, with tears in her eyes, tells him that she's willing to step aside. Ridge is taken aback, unable to process what she's saying. He's used to Brooke fighting for him, not pushing him away. "Brooke, what are you saying?" Ridge asks, his voice thick with confusion. "I'm saying that I love you, Ridge. I always have, and I always will. But I can't keep doing this. We can't keep hurting the people we love." Brooke replies, her voice trembling with emotion. "I know you love me, but I also know you love Taylor, and she needs you more than I do right now." Ridge shakes his head, not understanding where this is coming from. "Brooke, you and I, we've been through everything together. We always find our way back. You don't have to do this." Brooke steps closer, placing her hand gently on Ridge's chest. "I'm not doing this because I want to, Ridge. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. Taylor has spent so many years waiting for you, hoping for you. And I've seen the pain in her eyes, the loneliness. She deserves happiness too. Maybe you two can find that together." Ridge's heart aches at the thought of losing Brooke, but a part of him also feels the weight of what she's saying. His love for Taylor has never disappeared, and Brooke's words begin to stir something inside him that he's tried to bury for years. The guilt of never fully committing to either woman, the emotional limbo they've all been trapped in. It's been a burden he's carried for far too long. Brooke takes a deep breath before delivering the final blow. "I want you to marry her, Ridge. Give her the life she's always wanted with you. Even if it's not the grand love story that you and I have, maybe you can give her some peace, some stability." Ridge is speechless. The idea of a pity marriage feels wrong, but at the same time, he knows that Taylor would cherish any commitment from him, no matter the circumstances. He's always cared for her deeply, and maybe this is the way to finally heal the wounds they've all inflicted on each other over the years. "I don't know if I can do that," Ridge whispers, his voice cracking. "You can," Brooke insists, her eyes filled with tears. "And you should. For her, for all of us." In the days that follow, Ridge finds himself torn between his love for Brooke and the compassion he feels for Taylor. The idea of a marriage built on anything less than passion weighs heavily on him, but he also begins to see Brooke's point. Maybe giving Taylor the commitment she's always wanted will finally bring some closure to all of their lives. As Ridge contemplates his next move, Brooke watches from the shadows, her heart breaking but resolute. She knows that letting Ridge go may be the hardest thing she's ever done, but it might also be the most selfless. In the end, Brooke's sacrifice could pave the way for a new chapter, not just for Ridge and Taylor, but for herself as well.